Ray Dalio built what is often described as a culture of radical transparency at Bridgewater Associates. In public discourse, this culture is frequently portrayed in extreme terms. Constant criticism, real-time feedback, recorded meetings, scored opinions, and decisions continuously tracked and compared. In popular imagination, it is either a path toward rational utopia or a refined form of an electronic prison. Yet evaluating it simply as good or bad already misses the point. Radical transparency is not a universal moral value. It is a structural tool designed to serve a very specific purpose. To understand it, one must begin not with how it feels, but with what problem it was meant to solve. Bridgewater operates in an environment defined by extreme uncertainty and adversarial markets. In such conditions, reliance on authority, intuition, or hierarchical obedience is quickly punished by reality. Dalio's core fear was not that people might feel uncomfortable, but that an organization could remain confidently wrong. Radical transparency was designed to separate right and wrong from personality and status, and relocate judgment into a domain that could be repeatedly tested. In this sense, it is a product of extreme rationalism rather than moral idealism. Functionally, radical transparency did solve problems that many traditional organizations struggle with. It weakened the natural authority of seniority and position, at least formally, allowing viewpoints to be challenged. It forced decision logic to become explicit, reducing impulsive judgments and retrospective rationalization. It exposed errors early, lowering systemic risk. For an investment firm whose survival depends on judgment quality, these were not optional improvements, but foundational mechanisms. The tension emerges precisely here. A tool designed to maximize judgment accuracy becomes problematic when it is elevated into a cultural virtue. Radical transparency assumes that individuals are both willing and able to completely separate their identity from their opinions. In reality, most people do not enter organizations prepared for constant public evaluation. For many, repeated scrutiny, scoring, and recording of their views does not remain purely cognitive. It inevitably affects dignity, psychological safety, and self-identity. This is not a failure of rationality, but a basic condition of human social existence. More importantly, radical transparency does not eliminate power. It reshapes it. While it appears that everyone can challenge everyone else, the authority to define what constitutes a good judgment, to design evaluation systems, to interpret data, and to decide which feedback matters remains structurally concentrated. Transparency does not produce equality by itself. It makes power more technical, more impersonal, and harder to question. This is why radical transparency functioned relatively well at Bridgewater, but cannot be easily generalized. It depends on unusually strict conditions, a single and clearly defined goal, highly selected participants, tolerance for sustained psychological pressure, and a founder with absolute conviction and control over the system. Once these conditions are absent, transparency often shifts from a tool for reducing bias into a mechanism that amplifies insecurity. Notably, Dalio himself has never denied the cost of this culture. Bridgewater's high turnover rate and polarized employee responses indicate that it was never designed to retain everyone. It was designed to retain a specific type of person. This is a strategic choice, not a moral claim. The real problem, then, is not whether radical transparency is correct, but that it is often misunderstood as a universally applicable answer. When organizations with unequal power structures, ambiguous goals, and diffuse accountability attempt to imitate it mechanically, the outcome is rarely greater rationality. It is more often heightened tension and intensified self-surveillance. From this perspective, Dalio's experiment points to a deeper philosophical insight. Transparency is never a value in itself. It is always a means. When any means is treated as moral superiority rather than contextual design, it eventually turns against individuals.